Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's Rodfather 916. Last Friday, I went to Reno with a friend of mine. We have been friends for decades, and life happens as it does as we age. We have families and marriages, and people move the whole 9 yards. He's no longer in Sacramento. He lives just east of the San Francisco Bay Area, and he wanted to go to Reno to see Foreigner. I didn't know who the hell they Foreigner was or is, the whole 9 yards at the time, but it wouldn't matter. He could have told me we're going to see Randy and the Slop Jaws. I'd have gone with him because that's my boy. We go back many times. Plus, I like Reno. A lot of people don't know that Reno was once the gaming capital of the world. That was when Vegas was a little tiny downtown. It was also the divorce capital of the world. Anybody see the show with Roz and Russell done in black and white, except for that one section they did in color? You could get a divorce in a matter of weeks in Reno. So people would take the train. Can you imagine? From the East Coast to the West Coast to get married. Those who could afford it. And when gaming slowed down in Nevada, because most of the people who go to casinos are from California. We go up the mountain through the snow in in the winter time and go to Vegas or Reno. But when they started allowing Indian casinos into various cities, that had an effect on both cities. Um, Reno's casinos closed earlier than Vegas did. Many casinos it was affected because people didn't want to go over the hill. But as much as I'm not a fan of Vegas, you can't replicate Vegas at an Indian casinos. You just can't. I don't know what it is at Atlantic City, but Reno, Vegas, Tahoe is one place you can do anything. And what happens in those cities, stays in those cities. No one never has to know. So it's fun. You can't replicate that India casino. Once you're out of the casino, you're in that town. Want to go to a 7-Eleven, Dairy Queen? That's it. Reno, Vegas, Tahoe. You got your stupid ass 900 big fruity drink full of alcohol. You can walk down the street and you grab your partner's crotch if you needed to, or sneak in a little squeeze now and then. You are in the state of sin. But Reno, Vegas just eclipsed Reno. But Reno did something smarter. They diversified their economy. Vegas didn't. So Vegas is more affected to downturns. Um, the first Tesla mega factory, Reno. You have Google, Meta, Yahoo, and Amazon and other companies in Reno. You have a large medical community, and of course, you have a University of Nevada, Reno, in Reno, and they have a river that runs through downtown called the Truckee River. And it's not uncommon for you to see people on kayaks. Don't get that. When you've had enough of the casinos, you have more options in Reno. Tahoe is an hour away, so if you want to go skiing to some of the best skiing in the country, it's an hour away from Reno. So Reno's always been a favorite, but I do go to Vegas because Vegas I can um, fly there for $19. Put my big ass with my long legs and my wide ass, and I pray all through those 70 minutes because my hotel is just a few dollars. You can stay at the dirty, dusty, scary elevator riding Luxor, that pyramid, during the week for $19. But the sin of Reno, the other sin of Reno or Nevada, is the resort fees. Which is just a rip. I bought the ticket. I bought Art Circus Reno on Groupon. I think I paid between $130 to $150 because Friday is the most expensive day in Reno. They wanted over $200 for the same room, so I got it on Groupon. However, the resort fee was $50. I left my credit card in cash that I was planning on using. I somehow left in Sacramento. As organized as I was, I had everything packed 2 days in hand, and somehow I left my cash. So my friend was not happy about that. I was hoping maybe, I got $1. I could go play the slot machine and win the big one, and take us out for dinner. But I like Reno. I really, really like Reno. I like it. It's got a long way to go. Its gaming has been hit. Circus in both cities are family friendly, and um, Reno is kind of like downtown Vegas. That's where I try to stay if I'm in Vegas. That's where you have locals. You're not just with tourists. The food is cheaper downtown. There are restaurants where you can still get a steak dinner for like $11, $12 downtown versus, $11, $12 for a McDonald's burger because they're paying a price and passing it on to you to be in that casino, that strip hotel. But we really, 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 really like Reno, and I wanted to show him Reno, the Reno I know. But on the way to Reno, we stopped at a restaurant in Colfax. We were both hungry. We're about an hour outside of Reno. And we stopped in Colfax, and he remembered this restaurant that he really liked. It's called the Beach Hut Deli. It's a chain based in Sacramento. Sandwich shop. Pricey, but good sandwiches. You can the Beach Hut Deli, as I think that's its name, has yellow surf burger on it, and it has all this fake grass. But that day we went into there, we sort of talked to the two ladies behind the counter, young. They looked anywhere between 16 and 21, and discovered that the owner, not one of the owner, the owner, the one who was making our sandwiches, and there are pictures at the end of this video, is 21. Fantastic, 21. And that franchise is hers. I remember telling my daughter, before I knew all this, I said that sandwich was so well made, it was like the owner made it. And it was the owner who made my sandwich. And it was excellent. It was called the Woody. Stop it. The sandwich was called the Woody. Okay? It had barbecue sauce. It had cream cheese. Tons of roast beef. Excellent. And so we were both impressed. My friends in real estate, and he suggested she buy the shopping center because it's right off Interstate 80. I mean, it's like a block and you're back on the freeway, whether you're going to Sacramento or going up the hill to Reno. But her story and how she bought is just fantastic, and I'm going to do that on another video. I'd like to help her in any way I can. We both are, because in my case, I've been blessed by strangers. Many of you watching my videos have sent me money on the various sites I'm on, and I'm on a few. Bought me equipment which I have not put into use. I have microphones and lights and the whole 9 yards that I haven't put to use because I'm one of those people who are, what's the word for it? Procrastinate. So I haven't got this up, but I'm really appreciating it. And I'm always appreciate what people do for me, so I'd like to sort of pass it on. Anyway, we get to our hotel, where they charge us a resort fee, which is a rip-off. We got nothing for it, but it's $50. And my friend paid that. Again, I had no money. I think I had $6 total. Got to the room. We got dressed. Matching t-shirts. He bought t-shirts that said Foreigners on them from Amazon. He had a headband. My boy's from India. He's representing the, because I'm sure they're seeing reruns of old things, and sometimes when I go to different countries, they're like, "Do you know we don't drive that anymore? That was 1979." But you can't mess with my boy. But he bought me a matching headband, and I said, "No, I can't do that because I have a ginormous head. Plus, I don't want to go in as twins. We ain't that close." Okay. So we get to the concert late. I realize I'm more out of shape than I thought. I've been retired and I'm not working out as much consistently as I should. And I'm walking slow, and I felt bad for him because this is something he really wanted to see. And I know he spent bucks for those tickets. And I was hoping he'd go ahead of me. I would be okay. We get in a concert. I sit down and I am surrounded by my people. My people. My people. Majority of the people had gray hair. When I did my Google search, Foreigner came out in '76. I was in college, man. I was living in New York trying to be a big star in '76. '76. I was in New York, Jack. I was going to be a Broadway star, then a singer. I was going to win a Tony, whole 9 yards. '76, man. And everybody there, majority of people there had gray hair or artificially colored hair. Well, mine is natural, of course. And they'd get up and they'd relive the '70s. They're sitting there like, and they're in the hall and they're standing up, and some get in the aisles. We're in this ballroom, and they're like, and then their age hits them, and they sit down and they rest. And then they get up. And they're singing the songs, and I'm enjoying just watching them. I'm just watching. These are my people. I mean, last time I don't normally go to large venues. This is not a super large venue, the Reno ballroom. It's like 3,000 people on the floor. It's a ballroom. But it was fun watching my people, and they had young people and people trying to videotape. One person, I think, he missed the show because he couldn't figure out his camera. Let my people go already. He couldn't figure out his phone, and he was taking pictures, and he didn't want his wife to show him how to operate it. And so I watched him like four seats over. He's studying his phone, probably praying to it. How do I make a video? His wife was, meanwhile, and he's telling this, he's not looking at me, he's not looking at the stage. He's probably praying to the camera. At the gods over at Samsung. I want to film this concert so I can show my friends how hip I am. I loved it. The concert ended. There was the obligatory ambulance outside from people who sort of overdone it. Yeah! There were two ambulances outside. There was a fire, and I'm just laughing to myself. And my friend has had a lot to drink. So we go our separate ways to the hotel. Turned out that I thought the hotel was someplace. I thought it was in Silver Legacy, but it wasn't. It was actually a few blocks down. We got lost. I ended up taking Uber for 4 blocks, 719. Notice I remember the number. But it got us there. But I'm walking slow. My legs are hurting. My thighs are hurting. I'm cursing myself because just 4 months ago I was actually running on a treadmill, and now I'm like, precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, help me stand. I'm thinking Negro spirituals. My legs are hurting. Finally make it to the hotel where there are two towers, two tall towers. I think they're both 30 stories. I've been in the hotel for hundreds of times. I got lost. In that hotel, I spent 2 hours looking for the room. My phone was dead. I couldn't call for help. No one knew how to get to the other tower. I went to the wrong tower. I knew I was going the wrong way, so I'm going up the stairs, down the stairs. But here's the fun part. I got this t-shirt that my boy bought for me. Foreigner across the top. People are stopping me along the way. Were you at that show? And I found there were groupies, people following the show from country to country. One of the lead singers. Now, mind you, this foreigner started in '76. That's older than me, so that means most of the original people are probably dead. Shame on me. But come on, I'm 69. They're older than me. They're pushing up little guitars. Anyway, so I'm getting stopped, and so that was part of it because I walked 2 or 3 minutes, and I got to sit down. Walk a few minutes, start to sit down. But a lot of kids. I could have made a ton of money because there are glasses all over the place, discarded cell phones, not discarded. People just left them. But I'm meeting people. I made a friend of a guy who owns a shop in Tahoe. He rents those little cars you see in some big cities for tourists. Uh, Another person I met, he thought my hair was cool and thought I was cool, and he invited me. If you're over in Kirkland, I live like in Kirkwood. I live near there, and I have a big house. If you want to spend the night, you can. Not happening, but thank you. Uh, it was a ball, but to be out with my people in mass, and they're dancing, and they're screaming, and they're blowing the whistles, and they're falling out, literally. It was great. And I said, the year after the show, I said, you know what? And Sacramento's got a lot of places like that. I thought I need to get out with my people now. Because the thing about my people is nobody's pulling out a gun. Nobody, no, there's no fights. You call me a bitch. Well, I'm going to show you what a bitch does. None of that. It was my people. They cool. They're hanging out. But I tell you, some of those people who showed up over the weekend, they're in bed now. Going, yeah, man, we had a really good time. My hip is out. I really could go for a beer right now. Can you get me one and make sure she don't see it? No, man. Your wife cut a man. I don't know what you're gonna do about the beer, but I ain't gonna be a part of this. It was fun. It was fun. It was good to see my friend. We're gonna do it again. Hopefully not 10 years. I said we can't be waiting 10 years. We may not be here. But if you ever in Reno, or like I said, if you go on I-80 and you're on your way to San Francisco, long trip, and you're hungry, stop at Colfax. The trip was great. I know a couple of the songs. Um, and and I'm dancing every day here. I don't want to be this person like it was horrible, but I had a good time. despite my legs hurting and everything, I had a good time, man. Man, it was like, yeah, I was like, wow. Can you dig it? Mr. Rodfather, wishing everybody love, joy, peace. Peace, my brother, my sisters, my people. I wish you love, joy, peace, and happiness. If you find it in your heart of heart and heart, if you find it in your heart, I don't know where this turned into a church revival, but if you find it in your heart, please like, subscribe, follow, share, and do all the other things. Comment. If you found me somewhat entertaining, if you found me outrageous, if you just found me stupid, comment. I'd appreciate it. It tells me that you're living, you got a life. Just let me know. Mr. Rodfather, wishing everybody, everywhere, no matter what's happening to you, your color TV has less color. Your food don't have the taste. I just want you to know. I wish everybody love, joy, peace, and happiness. Thank you for watching.